this is the vertex form of a quadratic function where h and k is your vertex and x equals h is going to be your axis of symmetry. So let's look at an example. Right here, I know that the axis of symmetry is x equals -4 and your vertex is -4, -2. Now the trick that you guys use is you do the opposite of this plus sign. So you know that this goes left 4. That's the trick that you use. You guys look at that plus sign and y'all do the opposite and go to the left. However, what is really happening is that this value, your h value, is -4. So look at the equation. What they did was they put in a -4 for h. And those two negatives made it x plus 4, which is what you see right here. So truly, your h value was -4, and that's what makes it go to the left. And the reason why is because this negative is already here, and you're adding another negative right here. So this -4 makes it go to the left, but these two negatives turn it into a plus sign. Okay? So that's how you know it goes to the left. If you were to graph this, it went left 4, down 2, and it's facing up. And that's where you see your axis of symmetry right there at x equals -4. Let's try this one. What is your axis of symmetry?
X equals 3.
Perfect. And what's your vertex?
3, 0.
0. Good. It's 0 because it didn't move up or down. So if you were to graph this, it's right here, your vertex, and it's facing down because there's a negative in the front. And of course, this is your axis of symmetry, which is at the x value 3. Now you guys are normally used to seeing this x in parentheses. However, it didn't move left or right. That's why there's no plus something or minus something. So it only went up 3, and of course it's reflected and it stretches by 2. So your vertex, it didn't move left or right, so that's just 0, but it did go up 3. So if you were to graph this, it'd be right here, and it's facing down. Your axis of symmetry is x equals 0. Now let's practice graphing these. This is our first equation. And just looking at the equation, you should be able to answer all of these questions without even having to graph it. Okay? Your axis of symmetry is what? Yep, -2. It's always opposite. Because if you think about the original problem, it's actually looking like this. This is your, this is your h value. And the two negatives made it positive, but it's going to the left. Okay, your vertex, it goes left 2, up 7. Your domain is always going to be all real numbers for a quadratic. And your range, this is facing down because there's a negative, so it's -infinity, and it goes up to 7. And you can answer all of these just based off of the equation. Now let's go ahead and graph this. Your vertex is at -2, 7. So this is your vertex, and it's facing down. Now the pattern to graph a quadratic is it goes down 1, then 3, then 5, then 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. And then do the same thing on the other side. 1, 3, 5, and 7. And what I see in my graph matches what I have over here. Your range is pointing down to -infinity, and it goes all the way up to 7. Your axis of symmetry is right here at x equals -2. All right, your next one. What is our axis of symmetry? Yep, x equals 1. Your vertex is 1, 0. It did not move up or down. That's why this y value is 0. Your domain will always be the same, all real numbers. And your range, it didn't move up or down, so I'm starting at 0, and it's going up since it's positive. All right, so let's go ahead and graph it over here. Your vertex is at 1, 0. Now guys, please don't copy this. This part is not correct. But normally, you would go up 1, up 3, up 5, up 7, and so on, right? However, we're gonna vertically stretch by a factor of 3. So I'm not doing 1, 3, 5, 7. I'm not gonna go up by 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. I need to multiply by a factor of 3. So I need to multiply all of these by 3. And that will be my new increment. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 3 is 15. And I don't have to keep going because this is gonna be too big. So let me graph my points correctly. These are my increments. So I'm gonna go up by 3. Next, I'm gonna go up by 9. And you'll be off of the graph, but you can still estimate it. So that's this side, and the other side will match. Up 3, up 9. And it's a vertical stretch by 3, and it also went right 1. All right, so that's your graph.